Hey villagers, thank you so much for tuning into today's video. I wanted to do something a little different and I decided that I would change up the scenery and we're going to do a little girl chat. So today is going to be all about us having a conversation and just, because I got some things I want to get off my chest and I think this would be a great opportunity to do that. So let's get to it.
Welcome to a mom's life unscripted, family fun and laughs. Come witness. Yeah. April's life has changed so much. See what it's like with a new mom touch. It's okay if you don't have a clue. Join the club cause it's new to us too. Okay. Yeah. It's a mom's life unscripted. Hey.
As you know, in every video you might hear or see Cooper, so I just like putting that disclaimer out there. He's our corgi, so you might hear him clickety clack clack, or you might see him in the background. If you do, then you a villager, you already know what's going on. So I wanted to just come on here really quickly and just talk about some of the things that I have been thinking about lately. There's a lot that's been going on with me personally, what's been going on in the news. So I just wanted to have like a quick chat about what exactly is really going on. And the first thing that I wanted to talk about is just my going back to work experience and how that's going. Many of you know that I've returned to work from maternity leave, and so right now the transition between being a maternity stay-at-home mom to working from home mom, I thought it was going to be a little bit more challenging than it actually is. I think because most of my team had a 3-month head start working from home, that by me coming in now, it's made it a lot easier. A lot of people are able to point me to available resources, and I feel like you actually feel more connected. I don't know if that's because of the circumstances that we're in, but I've been able to still see my coworkers through like video chat, and we're always conversing on the phone. So I feel like for me, it's almost like I picked up where I left off. The only difference is that I'm not commuting into Manhattan every day. I'm able to do it from the comforts of my home, which is awesome. I think for me, I wouldn't feel comfortable at this time commuting into work anyway. That was one of my concerns when I first got on maternity leave, was how I was gonna feel about going back to work. But I think at this point, being able to work from home has been such a blessing, because I'm still able to see Noah grow up, which is amazing. But also I feel like I'm able to build up my confidence as a parent. I think from what I've heard from other working moms is that sometimes you have to go back to work a lot quicker than you would have liked to, and that leads to a lot of anxiety. But I think most new moms have anxiety anyway, because you're kind of like, even though you've prepared for like 9-10 months to be a parent, once you have the baby and then the baby has to go through all their things that they go through, you do develop this slight level of anxiety because you're just unsure. You don't know what you're doing. At least I don't. I'm the first one to have a baby out of my close friends and my family. So, I'm learning as I go, and then I tell my friends and then they learn through me, and same thing with family. So, I think that's been one of the challenges, just being the first and not really being able to have other resources to combat this with. But I think overall, I'm doing a great job, considering that most of the time it is just me and it's Noah and it's Cooper, of course. My husband, he works outside of the home. He has to. So the days that he's off, we definitely take advantage of him being here. But during the week it's mainly me. So I think that's one of the things that I had to kind of come to Jesus with and just kind of do it. It's like, you have to work. I don't have the luxury of being a stay-at-home mom, and I know some people who become stay-at-home moms don't have the luxury, but they had to. But I think that for me, I would have loved to continue to be at home and not have to worry, but mama got to do what she got to do. So salute to all the women who are able to be stay-at-home moms. I know some women don't have that option, like you kind of had to. I was tethering on that fence of like I kind of had to, but through the grace of God and everything, I was able to still be able to do what I do and be able to also work from home, which is great. I'm hoping that this becomes like a more permanent thing where unless it's like an option, you don't have to go back into an office setting, because I think for me, I felt a lot more productive. I get up earlier because I don't have that commute time. I'm able to actually eat. I'm able to feed Noah, feed Cooper, get playtime in with Cooper, and then start work. And then I'm able to take a lot more breaks. I just feel a lot more calm, and I have more clarity because I start a lot earlier. And also I can end later if I need to, like if I have to take a large break to deal with Noah. I know I can always come back and finish work later. So that's one of the things that I'm dealing with as far as like work. But what I want to know is, how are mommies who are now, who are Corona mommies, like how are you dealing with going back to work after maternity leave? How has that transition been for you? Leave comments below. I would love to have a discussion about this topic, because I think that, a lot of women, have Rona babies, and we're gonna be the first the first class of like having women really go back into the workforce dealing in this pandemic. So I would love to hear from women who, just like myself, within the last, I would say maybe 60 days have had to go back to work, regardless of where you are in the country or where you are in the world. I would love to hear how you are transitioning back to work. The next thing that I wanted to kind of talk about is this whole thing with, Jada and Will. I think that their table talk, I did see it. It provided a lot of clarity. But what it also did was allow me to see firsthand that, I think people forget that everybody is human, and that hurt people, bless people. And then there's that gray area in between. And I think when you've been married as long as they have, or anyone who's been married for a very long time, sometimes your relationship and your marriage falls into this gray area. And sometimes it's black and white, and sometimes it's gray. And I think that for everyone involved, you just got to pray for them. You could tell that Will was really hurt by the situation, but I hope that they are able to, in their life partnership, find ways of healing and compassion for each other, and that whatever Jada resolved, hopefully it doesn't get brought back up, and hopefully, Will is really able to heal from that situation, and August, I think that most people who have made comments, they don't really understand, like, when you're married and you have children and you've cultivated this huge empire, like, there's a lot at stake, there's a lot at play, and whether you stay together or break up, it's just a lot. So I just pray for them. I hope that they're able to finally heal. I know August, he definitely needs to heal. I don't think that's the first time he's been in that type of situation, though. I don't know. I would have to look. I think he was also involved with like another woman who was emotionally and physically unavailable, but I'm hoping that through his relationship with Jada, that the two of them were able to, work it out. And I just pray for them. I pray for everybody involved. It's not easy. Marriage is not easy. Being a parent is not easy. Being a human is not easy. Being a black woman is not easy. So I just hope and pray that they were able to work through all that. And I know people are going to have their opinions, but that is hopeful. That's what I hope for them, is that they're able to heal. If they're going to stay together, great. If eventually, in due time they divorce, that's their business too. But I just hope that everybody involved can grow and glow and just, and forgive themselves, forgive the other person. And I'm gonna pray for them, because trust me, being in a relationship for a long time and having children, your mindset slightly changes than than a person who's single and who's never been through none of that. So I understand, girl. The last thing that I definitely wanted to chat about is people going back to school. Fall is coming up. I know some states, children go back to school in early August. Where I am, usually kids go back to school late August, first week of September. So how do parents feel about the whole situation of having their kids go back to school? I know me personally, Noah's not going to daycare, so that's a period, hard stop. But I know that some people don't have that luxury of being able to work from home, and their kids have to have daycare, or someone has to watch them. So I want to know, what are y'all gonna do? Are you okay with your children going back into a classroom setting? If it was me, I would be like, no, I'm not comfortable, because I don't think the country as a whole has handled this pandemic in a responsible manner. And you're not going to endanger my child until you figure out how to contain the pandemic. We've seen it done in other countries. It's unfortunate that in the country I live in, they can't seem to figure it out, even though it's clear as day what needs to be done. It's just unfortunate that as a whole nation, we can't come together and just outline what needs to be done. Everything is about the haves and the have-nots, and I don't think anyone understands that no one's going to have anything if no one is going to show up and show out for each other, I really want to know, especially the little babies, like the preschoolers and I would say the first, second, and third graders, because they're pretty young. How are you going to navigate your child going back into school? How do you feel? Do you think your state is ready to have your children really go back to school? I know a lot of people had issues with the online learning because they were working from home, and it was a challenge trying to teach their children and then trying to, do their work. So I definitely understand that. I'm not at that age yet. Hold on. My baby's not at the age yet where school is going to be a real issue. But I do know that as far as daycare is concerned, we wouldn't be putting Noah into daycare right now. I do know, based on quite a few pediatricians that I've talked to, you don't really need to integrate your baby for real social interactions with other people until they're closer to 3. So at least for us mamas who give birth in 2020, you have until maybe mid 2021 or 2022 before you really have to feel like your baby or toddler needs to really interact with other people. So that gives us at least a couple of year buffer, because I don't know. I think I've also talked to some mommies who are considering homeschooling their children, because clearly what they learn in school is not factual anyway. So I'm just hoping that we all can come to some agreement, because August is in 2.5 weeks, and I would hate to have the kids go back to school and then it becomes this complete cluster of all this stuff going on, because they just can't pull it together. You know, I would hate to hear that, you know, there's even more cases, and the cases are now in little children. I mean, it's already devastating when anyone catches COVID-19, the Rona. It's already devastating. But to know that children who don't really understand what's going on, and they don't really understand like ways of protecting themselves, especially when they're not near their parents, and they don't see everyone demonstrating the proper, you know, hygienic ways of keeping themselves healthy, it can be a challenge. So let me know in the comments for any mamas or daddies, parents, villagers who are going through this. Like, your children in the next few weeks are going to have to go back to school, and what are you going to do? Are you going to keep them home? Like, I mean, if it was me, my baby would be home. Like, I don't care what they say. I would just have to figure it out with the job so that I can make sure that my child is getting what they need to get. You know, because I'd be damned if I have them go to school just to get sick. And, you know, the more that we learn about Corona, the more that you hear like people have all these lasting side effects, and now they're talking about brain damage. It's crazy, okay? It's just crazy, all the craziness that's going on. So if your child is at the age where they have to go to school in August, like in classroom, I just pray for you, because, you know, I'm kind of glad I don't have to deal with that right now. But I do know that as far as like daycare and all that stuff, it's a no for me, Bob. I would not be doing it. I don't feel comfortable, and it's not that I don't, the thing is, I do what I'm supposed to do, but it's other people not doing what they're supposed to do, and then children not doing what they're supposed to do because they don't see their parents or people around them doing the right thing. You know, then you're exposing your child. You know what I'm talking about. So hopefully as a nation we can come up with some federal guidelines and federal things that are like mandated that we all have to do. Because if everybody wants to get back to like kids going back to school, and then we have to come up with something nationwide. So I'm hoping we can get there one day. And, you know, that's my hope and my prayer and my dream. And my dream. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please, a thumbs up. Share, like, comment, and subscribe. Join the village. I would love to have you, child. I'm going to be doing more of these girl chats, but let me know below how you enjoyed it. I would love your feedback. I want us to be able to really have conversations on this channel regarding mommy stuff, and just how everybody's feeling and how's everybody doing with stuff. Like, that's really important to me, because we are family, and, you know, we're in this together. So just let me know in the comments what you're going to go through, what you're going through, any thoughts and feelings. You know, maybe we can give each other resources depending on where you live. And I will see you in the next video. Take care. Mwah. And see you next time. Bye.